What is up everyone, and welcome to a brand new season of F1 22 My Team Career Mode. We have a new livery which you can see there. It's got a lot more black on it than it had before, in theme with the new liveries we've been seeing at the F1 car launches in real life in 2023. We have a new teammate in Théo Pourchaire, and we also have a new thumbnail. So let me know how you like these kinds of thumbnails, whether you think they're better or worse, and then we can review whether they're any good or not. As far as facility upgrades go, we've got 26 million in the bank, so we're going to do some Spec 3 facility upgrades for powertrain and durability. We're going to get the final build time upgrades on them, and hopefully in doing that we'll be able to get some upgrades onto the car nice and early in time for the earlier races in the season, and hopefully max out our car performance quite quickly. We're also looking at potentially doing some personnel upgrades, but the one I want to get is the pace stat. That's going to be the one that enables Théo Pourchaire to be getting good qualifyings, being fast in the race, and just overall being a beast of a teammate, and hopefully helping us on our charge towards P3 in the Constructors' Championship. That's the target we're aiming for this time. That's the sponsor bonus, and that's what's going to be happening. As far as drivers go, we have one driver who has returned to the grid, having taken a year out, in Oscar Piastri. He has replaced Guan Yu Zhou at Haas, because Zhou Guan Yu himself has gone to Mercedes in replacement of Lewis Hamilton. So those are the driver moves that we've had this season. You'll see them in a second when I move over to the standings, I'm sure. But yes, we now have Zhou Guan Yu partnering George Russell at Mercedes, and Oscar Piastri partnering Mick Schumacher at Haas. So hopefully Zhou Guan Yu can have a good season. But he's got big shoes to fill, and if he doesn't hit the ground running, he might not be there for very long. You know, Mercedes have been a bit wounded in these past few seasons. They've not quite had the performance that they'd hoped, and they've been racing primarily with us and with Alpine. So hopefully they can move a bit further forward. We have declared our rival. Plain and simple, we're challenging for the world title this year. Even if I don't think we can get the Constructors' title, I want the Drivers' Championship. Who's our rival going to be? The Drivers' Champion, Lando Norris. He won the season last year, and therefore I can only think of one person that I want to beat on track. And obviously I want to beat Leclerc and anyone else who might look like they might challenge for the world title as well. We've got an Ask the Drivers feature. We've done these before. They asked the exact same questions, so I thought, I wonder what happens if I pick a different answer to the one I picked last time. And I picked aero last time, so I've gone tyres this time. It didn't really matter. I think you just gained less acclaim than you did if you'd said the other thing. Still Lewis. Hasn't changed in that regard. I get some driver acclaim for doing that. And all in all, that was a bit pointless, really. But, whatever happens, happens. We've done our Spec 3 powertrain and durability upgrades, which means now we've got a whole raft of upgrades that we can put on the car once again. And the first thing we're going to be doing is an ultimate engine power upgrade. I think about rushing it, but I would rather get it confirmed on the car for Australia versus maybe on the car in time for Saudi Arabia. So the first place where we'll have this upgrade is going to be Australia, and if we can get enough resource points in practice, we're going to get the final of either the ERS or the fuel efficiency upgrades on the car as well. One of the powertrain upgrades that we've got left to get is going to be a supplier upgrade, which is going to be coming in July, I believe, so probably around the British Grand Prix, somewhere around there. And once we've got that, we will literally have a maxed out car in terms of performance. And all we'll have to upgrade after that is durability, which I do want to upgrade still, because we had 3 mechanical failures last year. I calculated it as being about 40 points we probably lost overall from those mechanical failures, give or take a few. So we don't want too many more of those. And now it's time for us to get into the race weekend proper. That, as always, starts with the first practice session. And I really don't know what the season is going to hold for us. We have a front running car in terms of performance. The only thing that we're lacking in is engine power, and that is only going to be an issue for a couple of races. There will be maybe 2 races where we're down on engine power, and then after that we should have absolutely no reason not to be competing with the cars around us every single time. First practice session, Théo Pourchaire actually outperforms us, so he's already hit the ground running. And it only took him one session to be better than us. If he can be out-qualifying us and outscoring us in races consistently, I think we're going to have a very good season. But I'm not going to count my chickens before they've hatched. You know, we've got a lot of things to worry about regarding our teammate, regardless of how they perform in one practice session. You know, if he can be sort of on the fringes of the points every single time and getting into the points when a few of the cars around making mistakes and having failures and things like that, that's going to be the aim here. I don't want a Fittipaldi situation where he's constantly P11 or P12, which is what was happening towards the end of last season. I'd much rather have a situation where he's on the other side of P10, where he's getting sort of consistently P8, P9, picking up four or 5 points here and there, because that's going to be huge for us. If he scores 4 or 5 points every race, let's say it's an average of 5, that's going to be over 100 points over the course of the whole season, right? No, that's completely wrong. I don't know why I said that. No, it is right. Okay, I'm not sure, but anyway, I think it will add up to around 100 points, 110 if it's 22 races, right? Someone in the comments tell me if I'm acting like a complete insane fool right now, but I think that's about 110. If we can get to about our tally of sort of 200 to 250, I think we could be in with a real shot at getting P3 in the constructors. We're confident in the pace of our car, so we only do one run in Q1. It's a 127.2 on a fresh set of softs. It's a pretty good run. And yeah, as we come to the end of the practice session or the end of the qualifying session here, you'll see it was good enough for P12. Not a fantastic run. Once again, we actually get outperformed by Porsche in P11. So we're both through to Q2. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can hope for in this moment is sort of in terms of Porsche's performance. If he can start contesting the Alpines, looks like the Mercedes are very strong this season. Zhou Guanyu up there in P2 in his first qualifying session for the Mercedes. If he can qualify P2 at the end of Q3, then I'm sure they'll be very happy with the signing that they've made there. Him moving to Haas was not really particularly good for him. I don't think that they scored very many points all season. I think he maybe got a couple of P10s here and there. We do a run on the used softs to kick things off. It's a 127.5. We go fastest initially, but our biggest competition so far is Porsche. And as a few more people crossed the line, it was only good enough to be P10. So we're going to have to go again to make absolutely sure we get through. We improved by 5/10 on a fresh set of softs, and it's good enough for P3. So yeah, that was a pretty strong performance all in all. As far as Q2 is concerned, if we can get P3 in Q3, I'll be very happy with that. Porsche is out in P11, but it's his first qualifying session with us, so hopefully once he's had some time to bed in, maybe improve his focus, we'll be looking at some more strong performances from him. Lando Norris, meanwhile, 7/10 ahead of me, so I may have made a mistake picking him as my rival, but maybe it was just quality glitch, who knows, maybe that's not actually a representative time of what he was doing there. 127.3 on a used set of softs to kick off Q3, and yeah, now we're going to have to see if we can improve over that. The two Mercedes are currently the fastest cars on track, with Russell leading Zhou Guanyu, but as we move through, you see that they've been punted down the order a little bit. We're going to try and improve on our first run and see if we can make our way up the order. We're currently 5/10 up as we come to the final 2 corners, because apparently these are 2 corners, which is still complete rubbish in my opinion. We don't get quite as good a run through there as we got on the used set of tyres, so we lose a bit of time. It's about a 4/10 improvement. It's a 126.8, and at the end of the time, it is P5. So yeah, not the end of the world. It's a decent qualifying performance. I would have liked a bit better if we're going to be mounting a championship challenge, but if I can make up a place or two, then I wouldn't be too disappointed with P5.
With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Max Verstappen was out in Q2. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, P12 for him, out-qualified by Porsche actually, so that was fantastic from Porsche to be able to out-qualify a world champion on the first time of asking. Of course, Verstappen and Alonso are the only people who were world champions before I entered the sport who are still in the sport. Vettel and Hamilton have now retired. We have had Leclerc and Norris add 2 and 1 world titles to their repertoire respectively, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see who wins this season. I think I have a real chance this season because the car should be consistently fast at a lot of races. So if I can just win a few races here and there, pick up some podiums consistently, not have a few of the races where we were really uncompetitive like we had last season, I think we could be staring down the barrel of a really strong season here, and hopefully we can be upgrading our personnel facilities to the point that Porsche can race consistently as well. But you know, who knows what's going to happen regarding that. We'll see what happens. And now it is time for us to get into the race.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Robinson and Russell, Joe, Ocon, Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, Théo Pourchaire, Verstappen, Robert Schwartzman and Gasly, Tsunoda, Lundgaard, Oscar Piastri and Alex Albon, Mick Schumacher, Magnussen, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
So we're going to see what the strategy holds here. We do have the potential to run on the softs to begin with. That makes sense because we have a lot of tyre wear upgrades now, so we can go on a soft medium strategy. To be fair, I think we've done this every season if I remember correctly. Bahrain in the first season, I remember we did a soft medium, and that was what enabled us to make up 8 places on the opening lap. I don't remember what happened in Season 2 in Bahrain. I remember it not being a particularly strong race. And then, obviously, last year, we got the win here. I don't think that's going to happen on this occasion, if I had to guess. But who knows what the future holds for this race. We get a good parking, at least. I thought we'd overshot it slightly, but we were just about all right. Let me know what you think of the new livery, by the way, with the black and the green. I thought I would switch things up a little bit from our silver and green from last year as the lights come on and the lights go out. And it's a pretty good start, as to be expected, given that we're on soft compound tyres. We quite quickly jump Alonso, and we're up into P4. And now we're going to see if we can contend with the cars that are around the top 3, Perez and the 2 Ferraris. We get ahead of Perez as we come through turn 3 here, and we made contact with Alonso there, but I think there wasn't any damage. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know who was at fault on that one, but yeah, we're going to hold on to P3. I think Perez is going to try and challenge us back as we come through turn 4. I have to go out wide to avoid contact with him there, actually. So, yeah, that was a bit bold from him. And now we're going to see if we can challenge the 2 Ferraris ahead to get up into P2 and maybe even P1 as we pass Sainz down at the hairpin, and we're up into P2. And yeah, the car looks very nice under the lights, I must say. I don't know if it's always going to look this good in the daytime, but for now, I feel like this is a very striking livery. Move on to lap 3, and Leclerc has broken away quite significantly. Unfortunately, we couldn't really challenge with him, but yeah, we've managed to hold on to P2 for now, and we're going to see if we can defend from Carlos Sainz, who will have the superior straight line speed with those ultimate engine upgrades that we do not have on the car as of yet. He's made up the position, and I think it's pretty safe to say that given there's a few straights coming up, unless we can get ahead of him at this very next corner, very unorthodox overtaking spot, I think we've probably lost him for good for this race, and we're going to have to just regroup and see if we can hold on to this podium position. And indeed, by lap 5, he has broken out of DRS range, and we have a new strategy change. They're going to pit us 1 lap earlier for the mediums. I guess that makes sense because because we're you know, pushing pretty hard to keep these cars behind us as we're attacked by Perez into turn 11. And yeah, now we find ourselves on lap 6, moving into lap 7. I think we're going to be under pressure from Perez here. He's got the DRS, and he'll be burning his battery, no doubt, to try and get at me as well as the superior straight line speed 2. We're going to see if we can hold around the outside of turn 1 as we come through turn 2 and 3, and indeed we managed to keep him behind for now. We get the DRS as well, actually, because he was ahead during the DRS detection point. It's a bit cheeky, but that's how the game goes. And yeah, we managed to hold on to P3 for now. Lap 8, I think we're going to be under a bit more pressure. Oh no, actually, we're going to come into pits on this lap, aren't we? So yeah, we are going to hold on to P3 as we come through the pit stop phase, and we'll see where we shake out after the pit stop phase, whether we can get ahead of Perez and Russell, or whether they are going to jump me in the pit stop phase. Zhou Guanyu having a decent start to his Mercedes career in P7. I imagine he'll probably be here for the rest of his career now, unless a more exciting offer opens up, because I can't see him retiring at any point during this season. But I've seen stranger things. I haven't actually seen the TV show. That's a terrible joke. Yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, we want to see at the end of the pit stop phase whether we come out ahead of the likes of Perez, Verstappen, Russell, and on lap 12 you can see that we are ahead of them for now, but I think we're going to be under a little bit of pressure from Perez here. I don't know what happened to Russell. I think he was actually on the mediums, right? So he's probably doing medium hard, and we'll see where he comes out at the end of his pit stop phase as well. Under a lot of pressure here from Perez. I think he's going to attack me into the next corner as well, most likely. And yeah, I mean, this is turning into a pretty interesting scrap between me and him. I want to finish ahead of Red Bull in the Constructors this season, ideally, unless they're really strong this season and maybe one of McLaren and Ferrari fall off. I think they're the most likely team that are going to challenge us for P3. There's a yellow flag up ahead. It's Esteban Ocon. He seems to have had some kind of issue or some kind of mistake, and I was quite focused on that, and so I wasn't aware of the fact that Perez was sizing up a move on us. And yeah, my lack of focus allows Perez to move significantly further ahead of us. So that is us kicked off the net podium. Well, we might already have been, not sure. Here's what happened to Esteban Ocon. You see he comes around turn 1, he has a spin. And that's that. So anyway, we now find ourselves on lap 19. You can see that the gap to Perez in front has extended to 3 seconds. And yeah, Russell is within 2 seconds behind us. So the medium tyre strategy kind of working out for him a little bit here. It's kind of no loss, no gain type situation, because I think he started P6, he's in P5. If he can make those tyres work to the end, keep Verstappen behind, and keep me at bay as well, then yeah, we could be looking at potentially Russell getting sort of P4 or something like that if my tyres are going off and that kind of thing. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. I think there's pretty much no chance now that we're going to be finishing on the podium. I think Perez and the other Ferraris were just too fast. It's going to be a Ferrari 1-2 to kick off the season, with a Red Bull completing the podium. Where have we seen that before? Actually, no, that didn't happen last year because Perez had the DNF on the final lap. It should have happened. It should have looked exactly like this, and then we won't talk about P4. It should have been me, maybe. Latifi is out of the race. He is the first DNF of the 2025 season, and yeah, we'll see what happened to him. I'm assuming some kind of engine failure. The Mercedes power unit in the back of his car not doing wonders for him. Although it could be gearbox, maybe. It didn't look like there was any smoke there, so yeah, maybe that's a gearbox failure. That fills me full of confidence, because I really don't want it to be that our Mercedes power unit is going to be unreliable this season. I've been thinking about switching up power unit at some point, but I don't think we need to do it at this exact moment in time. And there are a little bit of pressure now from George Russell. You see, he's only a few tenths behind, and we're going to have to do what we can to try and keep him at bay as we come up on the run to turn 4. He's going to be a little bit further ahead of us. We're going to try and hold him off around the outside. I think we still have enough tyre grip just about to fight this, and yeah, that is going to be that for the fight with me and George Russell for now. And we'll see if he's going to regroup and attack us again as we move into lap 26. Getting onto lap 27, he's going to have the DRS once again, and we'll see if he's going to close us down as we come into turn 1. Is he going to size up and move up the inside here? No, not quite. I thought he might, but he's not going to. But he definitely will into turn 4. He's going to be very close behind before we even really exit the corners, and that is going to allow him to size up and move into turn 4. He's going to have a little bit of a look up the inside here. We're going to try and hold off to the outside. We definitely give him enough room there without squeezing him out, and yeah, he still can't find the way through. So that is going to be it for George Russell as far as that battle is concerned. And yeah, we'll see if we can hold him off until the next few laps or so. Yeah, this has been a pretty strong race from my end. Porsche, you can see, is in P7 if you look on the mini-map. He's just behind Lando Norris there. I think he's within DRS range. So yeah, he's doing pretty well. We're going to be attacked by George Russell once again into turn 11 there, but we just about managed to hold him off. And yeah, we're under a lot of stress now if we want to hold on to this P4. Making up one position in this race was pretty strong. From my end, I was hoping I would make up a few more positions, but I guess when it's not your day, it's not your day. So yeah, we'll see if we can hold on to this final position and at least finish in a net position ahead of where we were. As far as Porsche goes, I'm very happy with his performance. You know, he started P11. I know obviously Ocon and Alonso had their respective issues, which I mean, as someone who's desperate not to get roped into a fight with Alpine this season, I'm pretty happy to see. But yeah, he still was, you know, made a good job making up a couple of positions on it'd be who, Zhou Guanyu, and I'm trying to think who else, Max Verstappen. I think Max Verstappen might actually have had some kind of issue, or maybe it was Ricciardo. I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks like Verstappen has had some kind of problem as well, because he's nowhere to be seen in this Grand Prix either. And yeah, we're just gonna see if we can capitalize on the fact that a lot of the cars behind us have had issues and things like that. It's a bit of a long cut, this one, but I thought I'd just show you the sort of pressure that I was under from Russell for pretty much this entire time. You see he's going to attack us again into turn 11, and yeah, I really just didn't even have a moment to breathe or anything like that throughout all of this. I was just under relentless pressure, relentless aggression from Russell. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that his hard compound tyres were stronger than my my medium compound tyres at this point. But you know, I'm really happy with the performance that we've shown in this Grand Prix, especially considering we're still lacking that engine power upgrade. The fact that we're able to fight in the straights with cars that do have ultimate engine power upgrades shows that we definitely going to be able to hold on to or hold our own until we get those upgrades on the car, which I'm hoping should be in time for Australia. So in a couple videos time. Norris and Russell behind, you can see, have a bit of a battle there, and that's allowed me to break away slightly, which is good because I don't really have much more battery power to fight with. And once again, as they come into turn 4, they're going to be battling again. Maybe Porsche can gain a couple more positions here, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. And we've now broken out of DRS range, so I think we're going to hold on to this. As we move towards the end of the race now, Charles Leclerc crosses the line as the fireworks are going off. The Ferraris were dominant in this race. No one could even get close to them, really. Perez is going to take P3, I'm pretty sure. And that is gonna leave P4 for myself. I don't think Russell is close enough to catch us. It's been a pretty straightforward race for us, and yeah, really, it's just it was Ferrari's day, and we were just a side character. But you know, it's okay to be a side character from time to time, as long as we can fight back in Jeddah, be the protagonist. We somehow get driver of the day. I don't understand it, because we only made up one position in the end. But maybe it was a boring race.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
Ferrari do it again in 2025. They have been by far the dominant team of this My Team career mode. I think they've won the Constructors in every single season, in large part due to Leclerc's strong performances. Sainz was pretty good in Season 1. Last season, I kind of a few times alluded to the fact that he wasn't doing so well, but in fact he actually finished P5 in the championship and was very close to being P4. So perhaps I wrote him off too quickly. And yeah, it was only Season 2 that he struggled. So two really dependable drivers on Ferrari.
Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Robinson. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, we start the season strongly in P2 in the Constructors' Championship. I don't know if we're going to be able to hold on to this. I think we're going to live or die by Théo Pourchaire's performances this season. I think that's going to determine whether we get that sponsor bonus or not. Lord knows, that sponsor bonus actually, I would say it's important. It's not the most important thing in the world, because at the end of the day, all that money determines is whether I make my teammate really strong or not by upgrading the personnel facilities. That's the only thing I really care about at this point, you know. We've got Spec 3 facilities for all of the car components, so we can get all of the upgrades on the car. The only thing that is going to be affected by that is whether we have enough resource points to cover off all of our upgrades that we've done. But even then, I can't see a world in which we're farming resource points for an entire season and don't get to that level where we can cover off the cars around us. You know what I mean? Like I still feel like even when we're not generating that many resource points, we're still generating enough to the point that we could cover off any regulation change the game throws at us, unless it's literally every single facility gets a regulation change in one season. But even then, you know, I really doubt that's going to happen. So I think we're really in the clear as far as money, as far as resource points, as far as all that kind of thing is concerned. The only thing that we really need to do is you know, improve our team acclaim. And the reason we need to improve our team acclaim is because the other drivers on the grid gain team acclaim, or gain driver acclaim I should say, so much faster than we do, and all the other teams gain team acclaim much faster than we do. So it's really hard for us as a team to attract good drivers when good drivers are constantly increasing in acclaim faster than we can improve our team acclaim. So honestly, marketing is going to be one of the most important facilities to upgrade in now. I would never imagine I would say that, but yeah, it's going to be incredibly significant. We also want to try to get to team acclaim level 25 this season if we can, so we can get that final sponsor. At some point, I'm going to actually edit this livery to put our sponsors on the car, because that's something I've neglected to do for a long time. But I'm going to wait until we have a rotation of sponsors, which I'm particularly happy with as we become a front-running car. You know, I don't think we're going to have any easy races, because at the end of the day, all these other cars are pretty much maxed out on their upgrades as well. So as long as we're on the right difficulty, there's never going to be a race that we absolutely walk until we're, and you know, unless they massively fall down the order. That's about the only time that we're gonna do that, is if we get on top of a regulation change that the other teams around us really fail to get on top of. But again, I find that hard to believe that that's going to happen. So yeah, I think it's going to be nothing but hard racing for the lead for the remainder of our time as a team. So yeah, look forward to that in the coming videos as they are coming out. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, let me know what you think. And hopefully I will see you in the next one.